Hey there! Do you want to make exhaust hangers for your exhaust? Reusing the original hangers on the chassis, but for a custom exhaust? Something like this, perhaps? Like that? Or like that? Or even like that? Yeah, then I can show you how. I didn't find any instructions on doing it, so I'm making some. I went and bought this bar from my local hardware store. Let's see if that'll focus. It's 10 millimeters thick, iron bar. It's got a coating on it which stops it from rusting, but it is iron, so it will rust. I started off by taking the rubber hangers that I wanted to use, and I checked the inner diameter hole of that. So on an exhaust hanger, there's a hanger under the car already, and this is basically just a bushing between the hanger which is fixed to the exhaust and the hanger coming off the. Could use that to illustrate that hanger coming off the chassis and hanger on the exhaust, and then the rubber in between. And yeah, what this basically needs is, you need to bend the bar into the right angle. And this bar is hard and not easy to bend. And if you do manage to bend it, what you're going to get is a huge arc because of the momentum you need to put on it. So I'll show you what I did to do this. The things I used were a vise on my desk, which I'll show you in just a second, and a pipe which fits over the metal bar. So I have a pipe. This is actually from an old jack, a hydraulic jack. I have this bar, and the inner diameter is 12 or 14, so it fits nicely over my iron bar like so. And that's the only two pieces of equipment I used. I used a vise on my desk over there, and this metal bar, because what you want to do is bend. You want to have like a sharp bend in a particular place. That's basically the challenge here. So I'll go over to the vise now and show you how I did that. Okay, so here is my setup. I've got a scrap piece of iron bar here. I've actually got two pieces. So this is a scrap piece that I'm going to demonstrate with, and this is another scrap piece of the same bar. And what I'm using that for is just to create a rounder bend. If you try to bend, if this piece wasn't here, and you just had the piece you wanted to bend in the vise, the sharp edge here may or may not cause you problems. For me, I found that this was useful. I saw this in another video. I found that this was useful in creating an actual radius to the bend rather than a pinch. So that's what I did, and let's grab our little steel pipe. So basically, you can imagine this being much longer. And any momentum you put on this, or I've put force on it, it's basically going to bend across this length. Whereas what you really want is to get a bend down here. And that's where our pipe comes into play, which fits over and sits like so. And now we pull the momentum. You can see my hand up here. We'll pull the momentum on this, and it will actually cause the like a sharper bend down here rather than a bend across the area that we're extending force onto. So just check the vise is tight. And then this requires all of my body weight to bend and pull back a bit, just so we don't pinch the pipe. And there is a nice, I could keep going. I could go to that's probably like 45 degrees. I could keep going if I want to, make it a 90-degree bend. Something like that. Almost there. So with a technique like that, no heat, we've created essentially a quite a sharp 90-degree bend in this piece of metal, in this 10 millimeter iron bar. Obviously what I haven't shown you here is like figuring out the shape you actually need. cutting it, I just use an angle grinder with a cutting disc, so add that to the list of tools. Or you can use any kind of saw. Junior hacksaw will get through it if you've got all the time in the world. The process of, but that's all you need to know. There won't be anything more useful in this video. If you just wanted the technique, you can turn off now. But what I basically started with in each piece was this U-bend. If turned upside down, it's a U-bend, where the rubber bushing will sit. So I basically, if you imagine, I had this U-bend, and then I had the rest of the bar just continuing up, something like so. And then when under the car, looked at where the exhaust system is. I've got the silencers on jack stands. So the silencers are in position, and then I could just from that work out, okay, well, where's the next bend? You know, which angle do I need on the next bend? Bend it into shape and then cut it to the right length. So I've got a surface here now to weld onto my silencer or exhaust pipe, and it will use the factory hangers on my car. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you found it useful, because then I'll make more of these kind of videos. Happy wrenching. Goodbye.